when last we left off, the party was delving deep into the mountain and discovered some orcish farmers and bought a whole bunch of cattle, which are kobolds and dragonborn. So I'm really curious to see what happens this session.
So what exactly was the point that we left off? Was it right after I bought it? And I said to you guys, what, you weren't just going to leave them there, right?
Basically, and then we sent Grun back to ask how much money we would need to give. And they said, but you have all this cattle. And Grun said, yeah, but just, for interest's sake, what would we have to pay to appease Grumsh? And that was basically it.
Yeah, and it was a really reasonable amount.
I think it was like 10 gold.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous like that. So yeah, we can absolutely afford to pay off Grumsh and not give over these slaves, so we could free them or something. Free them and tell them the way to the surface would be Grun's suggestion.
That will not work.
Why not?
Our little rogue's heart, as always, is in the right place. But all that has been accomplished
is funding these breeders. You'll notice that all we have is young adults. There's no older stock here. They've kept their breeders, and they will replenish their stock in a season. These are not captured slaves. No education, no fostering of communication or basic skills. These are the same as feral children.
Something I know about.
And you can hear my bones clattering.
Can I...
Yeah, you don't even need to roll. It's very obvious that these are that you would see on the surface, like typical cows or whatever. Like they're following on leads. They're not really appearing to communicate at all. There's no signs of intelligence, and they all do seem to be of a fairly uniform age.
Are they responding at all to common?
No.
Damn. All right, so...
Unfortunately, feral children never recover. They never adapt, they never learn to speak, and they never learn to provide for themselves. If feral children cannot recover, even once they are adults, these feral youth and adults have no hope. It does not mean they cannot or should not be cared for. It just means their fates have already been sealed. There's no coming back from this for them. At least not for the Dragonborn. The kobolds, it's a bit less certain. Their lives are lived so quickly. A lineage of kobolds could span over 50 generations just in my lifetime. It's hard to say if they could recover. I would presume not. For now, we will unlikely be able to get any of them to provide for themselves or even function on a basic level, let alone fight alongside us or anything like that. They are people, but if you think of them as sheep, you will not be too far from their capabilities.
Well, that poses quite the conundrum.
Skippy says, you're wrong. They just need to be taught.
I wish that were so.
I'm going to see if they respond to Orcish. I asked them to line up.
They don't respond.
Okay, so yeah, can't even communicate with them through Common or Orcish, which are the most likely languages they might have known. Well, Skippy, you bought them. What do you think we should do? Keeping in mind that we probably need to keep going deeper.
I know. Gaelen, you say these people are farmers. Let's pay them to farm. Give them a certain amount of money for them to care for our people, our stock, as if they were prime stock. And we'll go on an adventure, and then when we are done, we'll come back up and pick them up on the way by.
So we're going to pay the orcs a babysitting fee?
But to care for them as our property, not their own. If we pay them well enough, they may take very good care of them. It's not a bad solution in the face of little to no solutions.
Well, if we're going to do that, I would say let's just make that negotiation at the donation of Grumsh, and perhaps get word from him on, or his acolytes on that, and that would probably be a more advantageous position for them if it's agreed to at that level.
We would have to defer to your expertise on the clergy. If it makes sense, let's do it that way.
I don't know, guys. If this Grump sees himself as a god or royalty, would he want a bunch of cattle run through his throne room?
I'm not saying we're bringing them in there. We're going to ask for what we want there when we give the donation. We give a very hefty donation. We are more likely to be looked upon favorably, and if it's the church, as it were, of Grumsh or cult or whatever it would classify as, then at least it's a more solid group that's making that promise, as opposed to a slave trader who's going to look at them and is like, well, what's good compared to what I do normally? So he's just going to treat them as you normally would.
Well, that'll at least keep them alive. Grumsh might want them as a sacrifice, and be, might not want to hear anything other than us sacrificing maybe some of them at least, or that sort of thing.
Well, we were told it was an either-or situation, so if we're providing more than 10 golds worth of a donation, I don't think Grumsh has any concerns of what we do with what was now technically our property in the eyes of their society.
But if we take them, he may want both.
That's why I'm saying we don't take them to the meeting. We just ask for their protection at the meeting. We can pay somebody to watch after them during that donation process.
King Grun, can you ask these fine fellows how long a journey it is to where we would make our donation to Grumsh?
You mean the slaves? Because there's nobody else here at the moment, right?
The farmers that sold these folks.
Okay, so I'll go. Sorry, I'm confused though. Are we somewhere away from them, or are we still right where we bought the slaves?
You guys stepped aside to discuss this, so the farmer isn't in sight right now.
Yeah, so I will go over and ask where we. So first of all, let's go find the trader we just purchased from.
Okay. You head over to the farm, and the orc that you were dealing with is nowhere in sight.
Okay, is there another orc nearby?
No, the previous orc that brought you here is already headed home.
We could head back towards his place.
Well, I was also going to say, just kind of look around. Look like there's an obvious maybe building or something that the orc may have gone to?
Give me a perception or investigation.
Oh no. I don't know if you want the answers to these questions.
Yes. Behind this building a ways, you see another building that is larger. It's probably the best description would be more like a barn. And that would be a good guess for where the farmer went.
Yeah, you're probably right, Gaelen, but Grun's going anyways. Well, let's see if we can find him over here. And start walking over to the barn.
Okay, is everybody headed over there?
Yep.
The first thing that you note as you get closer to the barn is the smell. There's this strong smell of feces through the area, and you can see that they've got piles of fertilizer beside the barn, various carts and wheelbarrows loaded up with it. And the door is open, so it's easy to see inside and hear inside. You can hear the sounds of movement in there. And does anybody speak Draconic?
One moment.
Yes, Grun does.
Yes, I do.
Grun, you hear curses in Draconic.
Okay, just random curses?
It's along the lines of insulting an orc's heritage and physical strength, mental acuity, basically anything that you can think of. There's just insult after insult being hurled.
Okay, so I relay back to everybody quietly. There's somebody speaking Draconic in there, and they are very, very unhappy about orcs in general at the moment. They're cursing somebody out.
I messaged to Grun. Let me poke my head in there.
Okay, and I'll let the party know that Skippy's just going to take a quiet peek inside.
And I will do that. I rolled the stealth already.
Okay. Inside is probably the most horrific conditions you've ever seen. There's 2 levels to the building, and it's just lined with cages and cells that house kobolds and dragonborn in various states of youth. There is an orc that is jabbing a spear in at 2 silver dragonborn, and it's the dragonborn that are cursing at the orc. And the orc, like for every curse that's thrown, there's a stab received. And it's awful.
Skippy turns back to the group out of view of what's going on in there, and his hands are kind of like shaking, and he points back and he goes, "It's a nightmare in there. The orcs are torturing 2 silver dragonborn, and they're talking. They're sentient. They're not cattle. They're prisoners."
Faewyn looks pretty horrified and is behind you on this.
All right, guys. I mean, before we do anything, we have to keep very much in mind we are in the middle, pretty much, of an orc stronghold. If we do something here and we set off any kind of alarms, we are in for a huge fight. So if we do anything, have to be quick and so quiet.
How many orcs were in there?
There was one.
Can you do a perimeter search? Make sure there is only one.
And how far away are we from any nearby other orcish housing or structures?
The farms are all fairly far spread apart, so there isn't anything close.
Okay, so that's at least good.
So yeah, I got a 26. I'm gonna go around the perimeter and look for any signs of anybody else. And I suppose you want an investigation as well, eh?
Sure. Around the perimeter of the building, you don't really find anything. There's nothing else close by. You think if you were quiet and quick, there wouldn't be an alarm raised, but you don't know if there are other people that would check on the farm or how long it would be. But from all you can tell, it's a single orc that works this farm.
All right. I come around the corner with my handbow already out and cocked and ready to go, and I message to Gaelen. I say, "We're clear."
How far from the door is he?
20 feet.
I tell,
This should be no problem.
yeah, I start aiming.
Okay. You can take your shot.
I'm timing it with Gaelen probably starting his run towards him, right?
Sounds good.
Seeing his aiming, I will also start aiming.
I will cast thaumaturgy, and I will create a where is it? Yeah, so I'm going to create a sound. Just kind of, I want to make the orc turn his back to us more. So I'm going to make like a sound of like somebody like coughing, like a in the direction of making turn his back on us.
Okay. So you guys hear the orc turns, and Skippy murders the farmer.
When you put it that way.
I know. Now you made me feel bad. I don't play D&D to feel feelings.
Okay, so you're standing there. You guys are all in battle ready, and Skippy just launches his quarrel into the orc, who falls dead. And what are you going to do next?
Grun's going to head over to the dragonborn that were being attacked, like being stabbed at, and I'm going to cast a healing spell. I'm just deciding which yet. I'm going to cast a Cure Wounds on each of them after doing a medicine check to see if they need it.
Is there any stabilizing the farmer, or he's obliterated?
Quite dead.
Skippy kind of looks at him for a couple of minutes and then shakes his or shrugs his shoulders and walks in.
Grun, you take a look, and it appears that it's just the male dragonborn who has been injured. The female appears to be just kind of cowering in the corner.
Okay, I look around, and are any of the other slaves injured?
No.
King Grun, please establish which of these Dragonborn are capable of communication.
Absolutely. And in Draconic, I'm going to tell everybody, oh, we're here to help. If anybody understands my words, please come here, and you, please allow me to heal you. And I start casting Cure Wounds and reach out to touch the male Dragonborn.
The male Dragonborn steps forward and willingly accepts the healing, and indicates that he does understand, and he's the only one in here who will respond to you. And you can see a look of sadness in his eyes when he says that, and looks at the female in the back corner.
Okay, so he heals 9 hit points.
Okay, all of his wounds heal up with that.
Okay, and then I ask him if he understands and speaks Common.
He speaks back in Draconic that he does understand it and can speak it, but isn't as comfortable with it as he is with Draconic.
Okay, so I relay that to everybody so they at least know he'll understand you if you ask the question, so I don't have to translate your questions, but I may have to translate his answers for him.
Gaelen looks at Skippy. Please free the Dragonborn, if you can.
I'd probably already be working on it.
When the Dragonborn sees you start working the lock, he points at the dead farmer and indicates to Grun that she has a key for the cell.
I let Skippy know.
Okay, I start searching the...
I would just be keeping an eye out for other people coming in this direction.
Okay. Can you give me a perception check?
Yeah.
I'm doing the same, actually.
Okay.
It's a good thing.
Minus
There's a
1.
reason why I whimpered.
Yeah, Faewyn, you're just completely distracted by everything going on behind you. You can't take your eyes off it. And although you're standing at the door with the idea of being a lookout, you just can't take your eyes away from the suffering that you're seeing in the barn. Cold-hearted Lignyck gets out of the barn and keeps an eye out, and you don't see anybody approaching.
She literally, all she can see is the broadside of the barn.
She's having trouble even with that.
Yeah, she's turned almost entirely inward.
Gaelen will take whatever coins are in the farmer's purse.
She doesn't have a purse on her.
Because this is her job, not her own.
She put Skippy's coins somewhere, right?
Yeah,
I'm looking for those.
you don't see any signs of those in the barn.
I would rather not leave anything of us here.
There was the building that we were just at before we came here, so it might be somewhere inside there.
We might check that on the way out.
What are we going to do with the body?
If we make it look like this Dragonborn broke out of the cell and killed them, and he can get away, that may pass off suspicion.
Suspicion of this death isn't his to bear.
I agree. I think we should just hide the body. Maybe we could dig a hole in one of those poo piles out there and put it in there.
That's good thinking. There is a lot of filth. I will help you.
Well, I'm used to dealing with some really gross, stinky stuff, so I'm willing to help Skippy, who has no sense of smell.
King Grun, you need to converse with this Dragonborn.
Can Krabby help?
Fair.
Find out what his backstory is, and find out if he's willing to escort the rest of these poor souls out.
Ryan, I would like to ask the Dragonborn for a long-winded, drawn-out, detailed
You turkey.
entire backstory, told in flashbacks, if I could, please.
I'll give you a summary. Basically, these two Dragonborn in this cell have been down here for many years. They were captured from their home up closer to the top of the mountain, and taken down here by a warband of orcs, where they were forced to breed and provide young without the ability to actually raise them. because the orcs have been eating their children for years. His partner has long since lost the ability to be reasoned with, spoken to, is in a constant state of shock. And it's been up to him to delay further breeding as much as possible through fighting with the orcish farmer, but it's always a losing battle. But he's never given up that help would come and that Maddie would send somebody for them.
Who's Maddie? Did you say like Matty?
Maddie, Maddie.
Thank you.
And Maddie is he doesn't go into a lot of details about her, but she basically took care of them higher up in the mountain.
Would you know how to return to Maddie from here?
No, he isn't that familiar with the middle halls of the mountain. They were never allowed to travel down this way.
Is Maddie another dragonborn?
He says yes.
Gaelen will return from burying a corpse as deeply in crap as possible, and will walk straight to up to Faewyn with his hands out. Can Faewyn,
And
please?
before he even gets close, she will have prestidigitated him.
Thank you, Kin Wizard.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got good reflexes there.
Skippy will come up to Faewyn as well. He's covered in blood.
Yeah, she will fix you as well.
So I'm going to ask him if what he and his partner's names are.
His name is Kakad, and hers is Carrie.
Do you know if there are any other slaves here that are coherent?
No, there aren't. The kobolds that they have are mere animals, and there are no sentient breeders among them.
Ask him if he's willing to take these poor creatures under his charge.
Well, he doesn't know the way to the surface from here, so even if he takes them under his charge, he has no way of escaping, especially with them in tow.
But if we can get them to the surface.
We can take them to that stairwell that we took directly down this way.
All right, yeah, I'll ask him if we escort him to the way out. Oh wait, didn't we leave? We left those orcs along the way though, so they're gonna encounter them on the way out because we had to pass through that chamber to get through here, so they're gonna have to pass through that same chamber if I recall correctly.
Well, perhaps he doesn't escort them all the way out, but if he just takes them up a few floors to one of the previous agricultural levels that was abandoned, it may afford them some respite, freedom.
Or he could wait there for us and we could then help them get all the way out once we're on the way back.
It's true. So yeah, I'll ask him if he is willing to do that.
He is definitely willing to fight his way out if need be. He'd rather do that than stay here under these conditions.
Okay, so I explained to him that we'll be going in deeper. There's a possibility we would come back this way, but it's not guaranteed. So he could wait for us for a while before trying to do anything, or he could...
Can Faewyn, make sure you know him well enough that communication is possible in the future magically.
Yeah, as long as we're close enough. Now, I don't speak Draconic, though.
He understands Common.
Perfect.
And you don't speak Draconic yet.
True. Grun?
I did a little bit of research on madness, and a lot of people suggest lesser restoration might be a cure for madness for maybe his spouse.
Oh, Ryan, is that something Grun would know might work?
You could try it.
If not lesser restoration, greater restoration, you'd think might go a long way.
Yeah, we can come back eventually and try that out. All right, there's the description. And the condition I attempt to cure is madness or insanity.
Definitely a DM call.
Yeah. I would say that you're probably going to need a grader for the amount of psychological damage that's been done to her over the years.
Okay.
But Kakad appreciates the effort and says that he's hopeful that Maddie will be able to restore Carrie if they can find her.
All right. Well, give me a moment then, and I'm going to pull some stuff out of the bag.
That is an excellent idea, King Grun.
Wait, what did we do with all the... Oh, we got rid of the weapon. So I pull out... Damn, I don't have a whole lot. How many, I guess, cattle are there here, including the ones that we've purchased?
Inside the barn?
Yeah.
Probably 200.
I look at him and I ask, how many people do you think you would be able to manage?
He'll take everybody.
I know it sounds callous, but again, think of them as sheep as far as their capabilities go. He could manage the whole herd.
Well,
Stop calling them sheep.
I feel gross about this, but I'm gonna pull out, what would it be left behind? I'm gonna pull out 5 days worth of horse feed and look at him and apologize. I'm sorry, but this is really what we can spare that might help to feed this many people, at least for a short while.
He looks at it and shakes his head a bit and says that I guess that'll have to do. He'll spread it around and he'll grab some on the way out too, because the farmer did have supplies for them to keep them fed.
Well, actually,
So
you know what? Do we have any horses left?
No.
They're grazing in a pasture down the mountain.
Yeah, kind of free and wild.
Yeah, all you
Yeah.
have is the tiger and the panther.
Okay, then you know what? I gave them all 10 days worth of the horse feed that we have.
Okay.
And
He's appreciative.
I give he and his wife 5 days rations each.
He thanks you for that and immediately goes to feed Carrie from those rations.
Lignyck looks around quickly and grabs 3 fist-sized rocks, and I am going to tinker them to make them light stones.
Okay.
And I'm going to give them to him. I'm going to offer them to him, telling Grun, maybe he can use these as distractions if he needs.
Yeah, that, or to help find the way if things get necessary. But yeah, absolutely, it's a great idea. And then I also pull out some firewood. We have some bundles of firewood, and I give that to them as well. So this might help.
He doesn't want the firewood.
Okay.
Because he would be concerned that the fire might draw undue attention, and the cattle might hurt themselves in the flames.
The tinkered stones are only 5-foot bright light, 5-foot dim light, so they're not super useful as a light source. But like I said, I'm pushing that they're for distraction purposes if they come across someone that they need to get past.
Yep, he goes happily.
Grun, do we have any spare weapons?
Yeah, unfortunately we don't, because we actually just recently got rid of the spare weapons we had.
I have a spare dagger. Would you like it?
I was gonna say I can give him my javelin that has been sitting on my back this entire time and never gets used.
This farmer must have something. Tell him to scavenge everything they possibly can from this farm before going.
Well, let's help him out too, because
I offer him my dagger if he has an inclination.
He gladly takes the dagger and points out that it's just going to be him carrying things. The rest of them aren't useful for any kind of tasks. So it's not like he can ransack the farm and take everything himself if he's also taking food to try to keep everyone fed for the journey.
Oh, they're not even capable. They're not even capable of carrying the food for him.
No.
Oh.
They're You're completely helpless.
I have another idea. Is the spear that the orc was using to poke the dragonborn there?
Yes.
And is there by any chance another spear, like maybe on the wall or something away from the?
Nope, just
Like
the
I
one.
said, you can. I'll give you my javelin. It's not as big, but
I'm basically
you're trying to make a.
basically trying to
what's it?
trebuchet. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll give you my javelin to hopefully get that together.
And basically, like once I'm sure that the dragonborn, once he sees what I'm doing, will know and start to help.
Sure.
And I messaged to him in common. You might be able to tie a few trebuchets to the hips of the dragonborn cattle to have them drag some supplies as well.
He finds it strange that you're speaking to him in his mind, but he nods, and Grun, you hear him muttering something about how strange it is working with a skeleton.
I was trying to keep it. I was trying to keep my hood around me and stuff like that to try to hide it a little bit.
Oh, your hands are out.
Oh, I have gloves.
Okay.
He still would have got a peek at you at some point, I'm sure, through all of this.
Oh, he doesn't freak out?
No, it's just what he said in Draconic. It's strange.
Yeah, and Grun will just mutter back in Draconic to him. He was stranger when he wasn't one.
Hey,
The other farm that we saw first, is there any way he's going to get all of these folk past that farm to that stairwell without the people at that farm seeing?
You would think it's highly unlikely, unless he can get everybody to move past quietly enough that the farmer doesn't hear. But you will remember that the farmer heard you guys whispering from the stairwell if anybody was in the area.
Well, we could provide distraction. Head over to there and make enough noise and whatnot to.
Kaked shakes his head and says that he'll handle the farmer.
Okay, I think that's about all we can really do for them without going with them.
That sounds about right. Best of luck to you, noble Kaked.
He bows to you and thanks you all for rescuing them and moves about, unlocking all of the cages. Most of the cattle in here are young, and some of them are quite young, babies. So he's taking as many of them as he can in his arms and talking softly to Carrie, trying to get her to take hold of them and offering words of encouragement that they can save some of their offspring. And she does eventually at least take a couple of babies, and he takes a couple more in his arms and starts to lead them out of the barn.
Is there babies left?
There are baby kobolds that they can't take, but they have the youngest dragonborn.
And before they leave, I ask, before you go, may I ask, how might we find Maddie if we leave this place?
He appears thoughtful for a moment before telling you that she's not a fan of outsiders, but if you enter her realm where it is cold and proclaim yourselves early, you probably won't be flash frozen.
Okay, we just, in case we leave and can perhaps find her, we just want to be able to tell her of you in case you have not found your way, so that perhaps she might help you.
He thanks you for that.
Is it possible that this noble Maddie is on that level with the Warforged, that part that was frozen?
Is Maddie on the mountain tops or within the halls of the mountain? We found a place full of ice and frozen orcs.
He kind of grins a bit and says that sounds like the work of Maddie.
Then he doesn't have to go all the way past those orcs. He just has to go to that level with the Warforged and to go to the ice.
Yeah, we'll give him those directions.
I will draw him a fairly detailed map.
Okay. He takes that and is extremely appreciative, and thinks he can manage to make his way back up. He knows the Warforged aren't an issue for Dragonborn, so they should be able to get to her no problem.
I do a really bad attempt at sleight of hand and get caught with my hand probably in his pocket.
He's not wearing clothes.
Oh, that's not his pocket.
Yeah. Then whatever bundle he's put together of like his personal items now, like his dagger and that stuff.
Okay.
And I'm putting 100 gold in there.
Okay. As you do that and kind of pull away from the bag, you note that he has seen you putting something in the bag, but he's not making a big deal of it.
We'd best be on our way.
Yeah, he's ready to go, and together the Dragonborn and kobolds begin to make their way out.
Okay, Skippy legit has 2 cobalt babies in each pocket.
Okay.
You pickpocketed babies. Wow.
But you guys totally probably saw that.
Yeah, there was no hiding it. They're squirming and crying in your pockets.
Skippy,
What? Why
That-
are you looking at me?
how many babies are there and that are left?
There's like a dozen kobold babies.
Before they leave, could we tie the babies to some of the some of the cattle?
Sure, you're going to have to use a fair bit of rope for that, I guess.
I don't think that's a good idea.
No, it's true. That would draw a whole lot of attention to them, make it a lot harder.
There is a reasonable chance the just left to fend for themselves, but free. Kobold babies will adjust. Kobolds are adults within a few years.
It's true, Skippy. I don't think we can take those with us.
Skippy's shoulders just kind of slump and he pulls out the 2 babies and hands them to Grun.
Oh no! Don't hand them to Grun. Now he's gonna get attached.
Kin Grun, you have to put them down.
Fine.
Skippy's gonna message Faewyn. You don't think Dragonborn eat kobolds, do you?
Ryan, can I make any sort of knowledge check to see if I know that?
Sure, a general intelligence check. You've never heard of any cases of Dragonborn eating kobolds before?
I can say I don't think they do.
Lizard folk would, though.
Lizard folk eat everything.
All right, so we're ready to go.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and try not to be seen leaving here. And yeah, let's see if we can't get out of here as quickly as we can.
Okay. You guys start to make your way, and you see Kakad put 2 of the babies down that he's been carrying, draw his spear, and charge at the farmhouse between the one that he was imprisoned at and the stairwell. And yeah, he disappears in there and comes out a few minutes later with a bloody spear and continues to shepherd the cattle out and up the stairs.
Well, hopefully they have good luck and don't run across anybody until they find their way to Maddie.
Their lives are already infinitely better. And if they die today, they'll die free.
It's true. Still, let us hope for better.
All right. You guys have a stairwell down from here that you haven't gone down yet.
Off we go.
We have a volleyball to pay homage to.
Sorry, I was just going to ask if are we still doing the shackles?
Like trying to find more of them?
No, is Gaelen still wearing them?
No.
Oh,
I don't think so.
forgot about those.
I suspect we still have them in case we need them, but
4 sets, not including the ones that Galen's been using.
Okay. You guys come down the stairs, and it opens up into a small chamber, and Faewyn sees a guidepost immediately after coming down the stairs. And you can see that this chamber is at least as well constructed as the chambers that you saw up in Gortberg. Here you've finally come to a place that is remarkable in its construction. And the signpost does indicate that you have reached Thorbald's Deep, and it has direction markers to a variety of different locations through the city.
Oh, she's so delighted to see that. What sort of locations are offered?
The areas listed are Library, Sacred Temple, Temple of Dowreth, Everlit Forge, Prison, Barracks, Keep, Royal, 4 different marketplaces called Upper, Middle, Lower, and Black, and 3 different residential areas called Upper, Middle, and Lower.
Ryan, as Faewyn doesn't forget things, could I ask you to send me that list, please?
Yes.
She has not recited these all out to you guys, by the way.
Is there any sign of like recent tracks and stuff like that, or is there people or like?
Give me a survival check. Yes, there are lots of tracks through this area, going up and down the stairs and into this region.
This is a fairly busy walkway.
We need to find the bookmaking place.
Okay, this way.
This way to where?
To the book place.
Oh, okay. I may need to investigate this Temple of Dowreth.
You don't know that it says that yet, unless you can also read Dwarven.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said you were saying them out loud.
I said I did not read them out loud.
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
Grun, as you guys are following Faewyn, you feel a tug on your bag, on your backpack, and see Gaelen attempting to take the stein from you.
I smack his hand away, or attempt to.
But my mug, King Grun.
Do you promise not to drink from it while we're exploring these unknown, potentially incredibly dangerous dungeons?
Define drink from it.
I define it as drinking anything that comes out of that stein while we are down here in the dungeon. I cannot be much clearer than that.
What is the point of having a bottomless stein if you do not imbibe?
You imbibe when you and your party are not in potentially life-threatening situations.
I see no enemies.
And would you be more aware of your enemies? Would you be as drunk as you were when we first found you with this mug? Were you overly alert for enemies at that time?
Well, perhaps I let the enthusiasm of the finding of this wondrous thing.
Okay, I was just going to jump in and interrupt. Gaelen, given that we're actually in a spot where there could be guards again, perhaps you should be in the shackles again right now for everybody's safety so that we don't have to fight things that will give us good information.
Excellent point, Faewyn, and Grun's going to pull out some shackles and slap them on Gaelen and be like, we'll talk later.
As you make your way towards the library, you do see Warforged, but they have all been destroyed. Their remains littering the halls of Thorbald's Deep.
Destroyed by what? Like force, magic, fire?
Hard to say. They've been destroyed for a long time, and they're in pieces. Looks like they've been hacked and pulled apart.
Okay, thanks.
There's a long time, like centuries.
Their organic parts are long gone.
Yeah, you don't see any organic parts. It's just like the metal.
Okay, so what? What do you want from me for checking for traps here going up these stairs?
Yeah, you can give me an investigation if you're looking for traps.
Where are we going?
To the book place. That's where you asked to go. So we're going straight there. And she takes off. She will let Skippy head over to check the traps. She's busy directing Skippy how to get.
And Faewyn, you do successfully lead them through the city. It takes quite some time to get to the library, but the signposts are at regular intervals. There's not a lot of foot traffic in this area, so you don't run into anybody on the way, and eventually you do get to the library.
Here we are, guys, the book place. Skippy, can you make sure we can go in?
Okay. They make books in libraries?
Well, I've never said it was a library. I've said it was the book place.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm checking for traps.
You don't see any traps.
Okay. I'm gonna move up to these doors on either side here, and I'm gonna check them for traps. I'm gonna listen, check for traps, and see if they're locked.
Okay. Left, right. Okay. You don't hear anything through either door, and neither of them is locked or trapped.
I point at Grun and point at door number 1 on the left side and give him a thumbs up.
Sorry. I will go up to the door and Shield lead the way. I will open the door and take a look inside.
What you find in this room appears to be like a coat closet type thing, and you find a cloak hanging off a peg and a belt hanging on another peg.
And they're not deteriorated. They're still in good condition, so obviously magical.
They appear to be in good shape.
Nah. I pass those back to Faewyn and ask her, when we get an opportunity, would you mind looking deeper into these items?
A belt and a cloak, you said?
A cloak and a belt.
Keep in mind, Grun, that this city is occupied, so it could be somebody's actual legit hat and belt.
Those could belong to someone.
Yeah.
That's true. I am forgetting that.
Who takes off their belt when they come to a book place? That's weird.
That's true.
That is true, but I don't know. It just seems
A
weird.
cloak I can get.
It just seems weird that this place has been, destroyed, and an unlocked room has an untouched cloak and belt in it.
Perhaps we should press on and see if anyone is working here.
I'll carry it. Yeah, let's keep checking.
And I'll get Grun to open the.
A very similar small chamber, but this one doesn't have any clothing or anything inside it.
All right. So in this room, do you just want one investigation?
Sure. Yeah, you don't see anything in the way of traps.
Seeing as all the Warforged are destroyed, and the orcs above seem to have no problem with me, I think we probably don't need these manacles anymore.
That seems to be true, and I'll take the manacles off, and when I put them into the bag, I will pull out the stein, put it in Galen's hand, and look at him when we rest for the night.
Thank you, King Grun.
So this room is lit, and you can see that there are plants growing in the 4 planters in the room, and it is lined with doors.
How do the floors look? Are they covered in dust? Are there like tracks where it's clearer than others?
They're covered in dust.
And what did you say the walls were lined with, right?
Doors.
Thank you.
Was the previous room all dusty and everything too?
Yes.
Okay, then if the back room was dusty, then that's probably not somebody's cloak and belt from that. But yeah, why isn't it? Why is it untouched? Is still a very good question.
I'm gonna start listening at every single door. There
Okay.
is 6 doors.
Yes. You can just give me one roll. That's fine. You don't hear anything behind any of them.
And
We'll go one by one and open the doors after Skippy clears them.
You don't find any traps, and they don't appear to be locked.
All right. So let's start with the door number 1 on the left side, and I step back and let Grun open it.
Yeah, I go and I open the doors, and I'll do that for all the doors one by one.
Ooh, there's a bed. What's in this room besides the obvious?
They appear to be bedrooms, although I know there appears to be pillows and coverings and stuff, but none of that exists. It's just stone slabs and stone cupboards with nothing in them.
Yeah, long since ransacked. All right, I open all the rooms.
Yeah, all of the rooms are in a similar state. Anything that was in them has decayed over time.
Oh, careful, Grun. I haven't checked up there for traps.
Yeah, I just realized that was separate from where we actually were.
Ryan, there's appearing to be a book on the floor in the one immediately to the west of me. Is that accurate?
No.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm gonna search for trap on these. There's a
No
trap.
trap.
I found it.
Nope.
Ooh, this is a big room. I'm not gonna search. It's gonna take me forever. Just be careful. Don't step on anything. And then I'll
Yeah.
search and listen at all the doors. Do
Okay.
you want me to just roll one?
Sure. Why not? There's nothing to hear in here, so you're not hearing
Oh,
anything,
Okay.
and you're also not finding any of the doors to be locked or trapped. So this chamber that you've entered into is much larger than the initial chamber, the foyer that you're entered into, and there's more plants growing here. A couple of statues of dwarves. And you can see that there's a landing up ahead on either side of a grand staircase. There's a reflecting pool off in the northeast corner, and a bunch of doors to various rooms.
Okay. I start opening, but I can't go through any of these
like-
doors. They're too small.
Check. Yeah.
Oh,
Reflecting pool.
okay. Well, that sucks that you can't actually go through the doors. I'll quickly place you in each room so that after you've opened the door, so that you can see what's in them.
Well, I can sort of. Yeah. Okay. Like it's a school room, and then this is a church, and everything looks ransacked.
It doesn't look ransacked. It just looks like nobody has been here for a very, very long time.
This is a temple
Yes.
in the library.
And yes.
Anything
Anything interesting?
interesting, unusual, stand out?
Yeah, Faewyn, you do see some placards in here that declare that this is the Temple of Lilium, the first dwarf.
Tell Gaelen, since he's on the head.
And Grun, you find just a small plaque written in dwarven at the pool there. The water appears to be crystal clear and clean.
Kin Faewyn, it seems a bit unusual that there would be a temple in a library. Could this be where
Who
this
said
book...
anything about a library? Like, is there a reason you're assuming it's a library? We haven't seen any books yet. And I've never said we were going to the library. I've said I was taking you to the book place that you requested.
What kind of book
But-
place?
But Faewyn has not said library. You just said take us to the book place. And so I've taken you to the book place.
Could this be the temple where the book was forged?
It could be. It could be. I don't know. I think we should explore the whole place. It
Or-
seems quite majestic.
Try and destroy the book.
Okay, we could do that too. Is Skippy still carrying it?
Oh no. Oh no, oh no. I believe Kin Grun has it.
Okay, we could get Grun and see if we can destroy it in here.
Sure, we can give
Grun!
it a try. Did we determine how we were supposed to try to destroy it?
We know nothing. How or where.
We only know it can only be destroyed where it was created.
Then yeah, we can go in and place the book on the altar and see if anything happens.
Nothing happens.
Okay, what happens if I firebolt it while it's on the altar?
Nothing happens.
It doesn't.
Like firebolt. Firebolt still happens.
Yes, but nothing
But the
happens to
book
the
is
book.
fine.
There's no damage to it.
Well, this isn't quite the place yet. Let's keep looking.
Did we establish that this book is associated with Dowreth directly?
I'm trying to remember the contents of the book related to the resurrection of
The Thor?
the Lich. Doesn't actually directly relate to Dowreth, I believe.
Other than we do know Dowreth is enthusiastic about all the undead coming back.
And that Glithor is enthusiastic about Dowreth.
Yeah, but Dowreth is not a fan of Glithor because Glithor doesn't really work for Dowreth. Like his undead are not actually connected to Dowreth. They're like separate, and he's not a fan of competition.
So Lignyck, while they've been exploring, you've found an old kitchen and dining hall. But aside from some old dusty plates and silverware and goblets, you're not finding anything of interest in there.
What about this room, Skippy?
I haven't opened it yet. I was waiting for you guys to be done in the other room.
We tried destroying the book in there. It didn't work.
Kin Grun, you have secured the book, yes?
Ooh, is there Are there statues in here?
Oh yes.
Yes, there are.
Are they warforged?
Nope, they're stone statues, and they don't appear to be dwarves.
Oh,
It's the first time that you've seen statues of anything other than dwarves in this mountain.
What do they appear to be of?
It's hard to say, but they are tall. They appear to be humanoid. The one on the left appears to be an old man with a long beard, and he holds a staff. The one in the middle appears to be a tall, faceless being with antlers, and the third appears to be an armored figure in spiked armor and a helmet that covers its face.
Can I do a religion check?
I was going to say, so I recognize Dowreth.
I was thinking Dowreth, Stormlord, and Shiro.
That would make sense, yes. And Faewyn, you find a tablet in front of them that says, "Served with blackest ink, white stone, and plain clay, the three gods, dark, light, and middling gray, shall adorn these great halls forevermore, and never shall we be part of their war."
Do you guys, can you mind if I spend 10 minutes and cast Detect Magic in here?
That is an excellent idea. King Grun, you'll notice that the order of those statues mimics the order of the doors.
Oh yes, it did. And I'm going to reach out and touch the statue of Dowreth.
It feels like a stone statue.
Hey guys, I found the bathrooms.
I will sit down and assist Faewyn in her ritual.
Okay. So is anybody doing anything for the 10 minutes while she casts Detect Magic?
I'm going to look at the two statues that are out in the main courtyard.
Okay. They appear to be of dwarven scholars. They're holding the kind of trappings that you would expect to see a wizard holding, a book with runes on the cover and staff, that type of stuff, long flowing robes.
Go ahead, King Grun. I have your back.
Okay. Then yeah, Gaelen and I will check out up here.
You said one of them has a book?
Yes.
Does it look like the book we have?
No.
And was I right in my assumption?
Well, King Grun, kick the doors open.
I will gently push the doors open and see if they're locked.
They're not.
Alright, so before we go in, I'd just like to take a look around.
Yep. As you look, and you can see again the three statues of the three gods in this small chamber as well.
And given the image, are they looking outwards and there's something in the middle of them all?
It's just a pillar in the middle of the three of them. But yeah, they're all facing outwards.
And the same style as the exterior ones?
Yes.
I was hoping it would be a book-shaped brazier or something.
It would be really handy. Just gonna take a look around without going through the doors. I'm just gonna come to
So
here.
Grun, in that area, you see that there is a staircase straight ahead, but it has collapsed. And when you look into the room to your left, you note that there isn't a ceiling. There's a large circular hole that goes up to a couple of higher levels.
Does it look like a constructed hole or like a cave-in hole?
Constructed hole. It was designed with 3 levels. Each the two that are higher are smaller than the lowest one.
And does it look like that stairwell was originally supposed to lead up those levels?
Yes.
Okay, I'll head back and meet up with Gaelen. And we'll check out the other side.
Oh, and you do note that in that room you see 3 statues again of the 3 gods. And there are bookshelves lining the room on the outside, but you don't see any books on them.
Oh, no books. Okay, so when I see Gaelen, I said, maybe we should wait to tell Faewyn about this room until we've kind of sorted out the other stuff. If she finds the library without books, I don't know how long she's going to cry for.
It's good thinking.
It's almost like you heard the cry from over here when I wasn't on push to talk.
I'm going to look for traps on this door.
Okay.
I am also going to look for traps on the door that I'm in front of.
Okay. You don't see any traps. And it's an investigation check to look for traps, but that roll is good enough. It doesn't matter. And no traps on that one, Lignyck.
Is this like a little classroom?
It looks like a series of study cubicles and a long bench where people could study together in a larger group.
Okay. This is a series of doors.
That stairway that's collapsed, does it look like quite an ordeal to get through?
It's hard to say. Give me an investigation check. Yeah, you can't really get a good sense of it.
Library?
Yep. You find a large chamber with a lot of bookshelves around the outside, and they're all empty. And you can look up too, and you see that there are 2 floors higher through the ceiling that isn't there.
Statues. Are they similar to the ones that were in the courtyard, or are they different?
They are of Shiro, Dowreth, and Stormlord.
Huh. I am going to do, independently of Gaelen, I'm going to do the same thing he did looking at the stairwell.
Okay. You think that it would be possible to clear this out. Might take a bit of time, but it appears to be mostly wood and stone debris. The wood is heavily rotted, so the slightest movement is probably going to cause it to collapse further, but it could be cleared.
Hey, do we want it? Where'd they go? Hey! hey! Grun! Where'd they go?
Sir, what were you saying?
Do we want to go up those stairs?
I mean, I think we might want to at some point. It's it could contain something, or if nothing else, might be a sneaky way to get back to the surface.
Could I use that ability of Krabby's to help with the process of repairing these stairs?
Sure. If you use all 3 uses for the day, I'll open up that staircase for you.
I will do that.
Okay. So you managed to clear out the rubble without anybody getting crushed to death, and the staircase is open to the next level.
Excellent work, King Krabby.
I will climb back on Krabby once it is done, and I will very leisurely make my way up the stairs. Last time I went down the stairs, there was Warforged.
That's gotta be 10 minutes by now, right?
Nope. It doesn't take a whole lot of time to go walking around and snooping around.
Repairing a
probably about
stairway?
halfway there. Well, that's an action, so he can just do it in like 18 seconds.
Wow, glad we got that crab on our side.
No kidding. So, Lignyck, you find a second floor, and it is also lined with bookcases, both on the inside and outside walls, but they are all empty.
You're killing me, Ryan. Killing me.
Just imagine how many books there were.
Yeah, I Googled to see how long books last, and it's surprisingly not very long. So...
But we should at least see remnants of them.
Nope.
Dust piles?
Well, I mean, there's dust
Something.
everywhere, so it doesn't really stand out all that much.
Oh, tragic.
Lignyck, you find another staircase that goes up.
I'm going to check it for stability before I make my way.
Okay, investigation. It appears to be stable.
Looks good to me. I'm going to go up the stairs.
You head up the stairs, and you see a statue of a dwarven scholar on the south wall. And there are, again, a bunch of bookcases, and one of them has a book.
Burn it.
Oh my god.
I'm going to have me a look at said book.
It's in dwarven. What you see on the cover is an 8-pointed white star.
Was there any symbology on the altar we dealt with that I took the hammer from?
There were 2 crossed hammers, I believe.
And the other one that had the light in it, did it have any?
The day star that you guys uncovered inside of it looks very similar to this.
I am going to leave it for the moment, and I am going to make my way back down to Gaelen and Gaelen and Grun to start. And I am going to gesture them to follow, and I'm going to head back to where Faewyn is, and I'm going to sit and fidget until she is done.
Okay. So a couple of minutes later, Faewyn finishes her spell of Detect Magic. Faewyn, you notice that Lignyck is holding a glowing book.
I left the book up there. I wasn't taking it out of the room.
Oh, never mind. You don't see anything that looks particularly magical in here.
How long does that last for, though?
10 minutes. How about the belt and cloak I took from the cloakroom?
They're magical.
And cool. Can I tell what schools?
Yeah, one of them definitely will be enhancement. The other one is transmutation.
Which one's transmutation?
The belt.
As soon as I see that she is looking around and stuff, Faewyn,
Yeah?
book,
Books?
book, one,
Ooh!
come.
Nothing else in this room, statues and altar, etc. Don't go?
Nope.
Where?
Out as you leave the room, you do note that the light source that permeates the room is magical. The pool in the corner there is also magical, and that's all that you see here.
Okay. I will ask you also about the school of magic for the pool.
Evocation.
Oh, that's interesting. That could mean a number of things. Okay, cool. I'm following Lignyck totally.
Okay.
I dismount Krabby. I tell her to climb on, and I get Krabby to take her up, and I will follow.
Grun will come along.
And I'm going to look around as I'm traveling this whole time, however.
Yeah, you're not seeing anything else magical so far.
Cool.
Yeah, as you come in here, you see a pile of rubble off to the side that Krabby cleared, and you can take the staircase up.
Oh, she gives out a little cry at this room, seeing no books on the shelves.
Yeah.
You're a monster!
Yeah, and she'll take a look in all of the places we go.
Yeah. So you head up to the second floor, nothing. Third floor, you get up there, and you see a glowing book.
Ooh, pretty. And what school does it glow?
Necromancy.
Doom.
Well, that's interesting. And it's written in Dwarvish, you said?
It is.
Does it have a title?
Yes. Day Stars.
Ooh, we want to take this book.
Does it look similarly bound to the book that I have?
No.
Guys, we need to read this book.
Why is that?
It's about day stars. Like the
What
one in
for?
the altar down there.
Yes.
What school of magic?
You'll like it, Skippy. It's necromancy.
Oh, cool. Can you read it to me?
Right now? Okay. And she'll sit down on the floor.
Okay.
Yes, we should take this book and you should read it so that you have its knowledge. But perhaps we should destroy it with this other one.
She looks up at him in horror.
We are destroying the other book so that that knowledge can't be gained by the people we don't want to gain that knowledge. It seems they would want its knowledge as well.
Ryan, actually, I have Detect Magic on, and we had the book out. Does the book we're trying to destroy is also magical, correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. Just double checking.
Yeah.
Like, that would be some weird trick. Let's reserve judgment on destroying books until we know they need to be destroyed. I do not intend to spend my entire life destroying all books because they're magical.
Well, once you've gained its knowledge, what's
I
the
do not
difference?
intend to destroy all books because they're magical, even if I've gained their knowledge. Books are precious. And you can tell this is a line in the sand for Faewyn.
I understand your position.
We'll read it and make an intelligent decision at that point in time.
Yes, of course.
All books should not be destroyed.
Of course. Just consider that this is a book about day stars, and the book we're trying to destroy is also referring to day stars.
So we'll read it and then make any decisions. And Faewyn will clutch the book to herself tightly.
Okay. So what are you guys going to do next?
Did we try and destroy the book in the room with the altar and the gods?
Yeah. We did.
I believe we tried to destroy it in the temple.
We haven't tried to destroy it anywhere else.
We should try and destroy it in the room with statues of the gods as well.
Sounds good.
Ryan, how long have we been adventuring now?
Today, probably... Actually, it's been a while, hasn't it? Because you guys started out from
Yep.
Gortberg in the morning.
And read all the crazy writings.
And yeah, it's getting later in the day now.
Like bedtime late in the day, or
Probably in another hour. you'll want to think about bed.
So let's see if that room with the statues of the gods allows us to destroy the book.
Well, I would say maybe we leave that, because if it does, who knows what insanity that could unleash. So maybe we should just focus on finding the best place to rest for the night, and then we can do that. And then at that point as well, Faewyn will have likely have read further into the book and may have some more information for us to work off of.
I agree with Grun.
We could probably bed down in the temple quite comfortably.
I don't like the idea of it only having one way in, one way out.
That's actually why I picked it. It's defensible.
It's true. What if they have a cave troll?
Well, if you put a tiny hut right up against that door, nothing's coming through.
It's true. Not even a cave troll.
I can do that. I can put a hut anywhere you like.
If you wish to delay trying to destroy the book, then let's go and find rest. Gaelen starts to untie his mug from his hip.
Grun says nothing because he did say once we rest for the night.
Okay. So where are you guys camping?
Down here at the
heat of
temple.
Shiro, Dowreth, and Storm.
No, in the temple, just south of it.
Does somebody each want to take the belt and the cloak and try and spend some time to figure out what they do while I spend some time figuring out about this pool of water?
I can take one of the items.
Would you like the belt or the cloak?
Let's do the cloak.
I'll take the other.
Okay, thanks. And I'll hand each of them, and I will spend some time trying to figure out the pool of water. Oh, I can't. Can somebody else figure out the pool of water? I desperately need to read. I need to know about the pool of water too, though.
I'll take a look at the pool of water. Grun
Thank you so much, Grun.
Grun was interested in it earlier too. So
Okay. So you guys spend the night in the library.
In Faewyn, hut first, please, then book.
Yeah, she'll do the hut, then she'll read. It's just comfy reading inside of the hut.
Sounds good. So Grun, the pool is a healing pool, and once per day, a person can drink from it and have a first level cure wounds effect from drinking the water. The power does not transfer to other vessels. It has to be drunk from the pool. The cloak is a cloak of protection +1, and the belt is a belt of hill giant strength.
Ooh, decent haul.
is anybody injured at all?
I don't think anyone is injured.
Okay.
I turn to Faewyn and I say, Faewyn, I think you should wear this cloak.
What's the cloak?
It's a cloak of protection. It'll help protect you against our foes.
Oh, that's pretty cool, but everybody could use that.
I know, but I've seen you in fights. You're pretty easy to hit sometimes.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't like standing next to people. Not at all.
Yeah, I agree that Faewyn should have the cloak.
Well, I'd like to at least offer the thought to the rest of the people because she actually does a decent job of not staying beside people and has a few spells to enforce that concept. So she has
What's everybody's AC?
11.
Yeah, I got a 15.
15.
19.
What's Lignyck's?
12.
Well, Lignyck's way more likely to stand by something than I am.
That is true.
That is true, and as memory serves, we have all fallen in combat, except for you, Kin Faewyn.
I don't like standing by people.
I have yet to find a good tattoo for you. One day something will kill you.
I don't like that you sound so happy and optimistic about that. That's a little creepy.
Don't mind him, Faewyn. It's an odd thing for him.
You should honor and respect the things that were powerful enough to fall you.
Okay, but I'm happy just fine till then.
I don't think I would want to put something like that on my skin.
I mean, it's really not a concern you have to worry about.
Ouch.
It is not a concern you have to worry about, but I believe I would have the skills to carve nice images in your bones.
No, thank you. And he kind of touches his bones. No,
So-
It's not a thing I just made up. It is called scrimshaw.
yeah, but it's gonna hurt, and I don't want it.
It won't hurt that much. Not any more than any tattoo, I would assume.
It'll hurt enough that I don't want it.
But you have so many good choices. You could have a zombie T-Rex. You also need a tattoo of Grun, because he also killed you.
Twice, if I recall.
Well, I'm going to bed. And he collapses.
I will never get used to that.
It's like Jenga.
The jawbone kind of reconnects with the head bone, and he says, "Neither will I."
In his head.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot I have to message. It's ruining my cinematics.
Ooh.
Hey, Ryan.
Yes.
Question for you. I asked Faewyn if I could copy all the spells in her spell book.
Okay.
Is that okay?
As long as you spend the money and time to do so, yes.
Okay. So I would assume I would need supplies then to do that if it's going to require money, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I
so
could
wouldn't be able to
tentatively
do
lend
that
you
now.
some because I do have some on me. But they're also for acquiring any spells we run across.
Yeah. Okay. Till we have downtime, you know.
So Faewyn put up her tiny hut and then dug into her book. And everybody else identified something.
And I read.
Yes, that's what I meant by dug into your book.
Sorry, I hadn't quite heard that part.
Yeah, everybody had something to do.
And Gaelen?
Sipping very gently.
It really doesn't take much to give you the early feelings of being drunk. This stuff is really strong.
This is like the best dwarven ale that has ever existed.
Well, you don't know about that, but it's really strong.
Oh, yeah. Okay, what you're saying is it doesn't taste too good, but it's really good at doing its job.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Sipping with a capital S.
I'm back.
Can I get a Constitution saving throw, please? Yeah, you're fine. You're just a regular level of drunk by the morning.
Once Grun is done checking out the pool and comes back and joins everyone else in the room and the hut, Gaelen will offer him, King Grun, would you like to join me?
I'll taste. I'll have a taste. And
So I will.
I'll take a drink.
I will not give him my mug. I will reach into my shoulder pouch and pull out another mug and hand it to him.
Yeah, and I will to Galen's great shape. Just take like a third of the mug.
Can you give me a Constitution saving throw, please?
The mug. Never mind.
The mug that Gaelen gives to Grun is identical to the one he has. It's not a lesser mug, and it fills itself.
Yeah, Grun, it actually tastes pretty good to your senses. I saw your roll on Discord of 23.
Okay, thanks.
So we'll take that. And you don't feel too bad from it. Like it's definitely strong stuff, and you can feel that it wouldn't take much to get somebody drunk, but you're not feeling ill effects right now.
Oh, that is quite the stuff, Gaelen. Whew. I mean, it's got a kick, that's for sure.
Yes, it's amazing. Well, at least the mugs are amazing.
Yes.
You have two of them?
Do we know if it can be produce other drinks?
Why would you want it to? But no, we don't. And no, Ken Faewyn, I don't have two mugs. Would you like one?
Can it produce something else? How many do you have?
Would you like one?
Maybe. Sure.
Gaelen will reach into a totally different pouch, pull out a mug, and hand it to Faewyn.
Faewyn will take a very cautious sip.
Yeah, it tastes pretty awful.
Ooh, you sure it can't make anything else?
Why would you want it to?
Because it doesn't taste very good.
Do I recall you saying that last time we were drinking together?
Perhaps.
And remember what I said about sipping?
Do you remember I said I like to sip things that tasted good?
Well, sure. That's an added bonus.
I'm sorry, I just can't stomach it.
Ken Lignyck, would you like some?
I'll hand him my mug, just straight out. Hopefully he accepts it.
I will snag it from Faewyn.
Go ahead and enjoy, Ken Lignyck. What could happen here? This is the house of some god or another.
Lignyck is utterly enraptured by the mug, but it is because he wants to figure it out, not because he wants to drink from it.
There is nothing like Dwarven ale.
At the moment, treat Lignyck as if he were Faewyn in front of a book.
Okay. So what are you guys going to do?
Well, we basically did a short rest to identify stuff before bedding down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so have we done our long rest then?
Unless anybody has anything else they want to do first, you can have your long
I
rest.
can tell you guys about the book if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Yeah.
That sounds great.
Well, as you guys probably figured out, the Day and the Doomstars were created by powerful clerics of Shiro and Dowreth to safeguard their holy sites, which kind of makes me wonder about that one we saw. But anyway, so there was like major, serious, powerful clerics had to sacrifice their lives. It took like a full year. Sounds pretty alarming.
What happens if you put the 2 stars together?
Didn't say.
Oh, okay.
Maybe avoid it for now.
Well, I think we're still operating under the assumption that any Daystar or Doomstar or star, we should just leave well enough alone.
Oh, other thing.
Yeah.
Stormlord never created any stars. Their followers claimed that the power could be abused.
That is not surprising.
I was gonna say, from what I know, yeah, that sounds like what the Stormlord would kind of tote. It very much a neutral figure.
It is the nature of all power to be able to be abused.
All right. Well, now that we're all awake and fed and everything, should we keep going?
Well, we want to try and destroy the book in the other room, yes?
In the morning, right?
Well, we can have our long rest, I think, right?
Yep, no problem. Nothing intrudes upon your area while you're resting.
So, yes, I think we want to try and destroy the book in the other room, yes?
Yeah.
And did that book, can Faewyn, give any indication of where these Daystars and Doomstars and books of badness might be created?
Well, the Doomstar it does mention was in Dowreth's temple.
Okay, so perhaps this dark book would have also been created there?
Perhaps.
We should try and find such a thing, especially because we have a cleric of
Oh well,
Dowreth.
there was a signpost. We can go there.
There's also the fact that this book wasn't created by like Dowreth or any followers. This was created by Glothor. So we're not necessarily going to destroy it in Dowreth's temple, because Dowreth has nothing to do with it.
Well, you say that, except for the follower of Glothor claims to also follow Dowreth.
Who are you talking about?
Lucius.
No, Lucius doesn't claim to follow Dowreth. He mocked Dowreth. Or am I remembering correctly?
According to the follower of Venya that we spoke with, and now consider the source, it is a follower of Venya. Venya follows Dowreth and laughs at the idea that Lucius claims to follow Dowreth.
Yeah, because Venya was a follower of Dowreth, but even per Dowreth.
Yes, but according to a
taken.
follower of Venya, I would suggest that a follower of Lucius might say the same thing, but in reverse.
Yeah, but from what I've heard from Dowreth, is that this is not like these books are not tied to them. These are tied to Lucius and Glothor. So
don't mind me if I don't trust anything your god says.
Yes, but also don't get caught up with the idea that we can destroy this here. We could have to destroy this somewhere entirely different still too.
I am saying that we should try and destroy it here, and then we should proceed. If we do have directions to a temple of Dowreth, that should be our next location.
Or the sacred temple. I got those too.
A sacred temple. Yes, that as well.
What exactly was on the signpost, Faewyn?
There was actually quite a lot of information there.
Okay.
The way to the library, the sacred temple, the temple of Dowreth, the Everlit Forge, prison, barracks, the keeps, the royal quarters, all sorts of markets and all sorts of residential areas.
An Everlit Forge sounds like a good idea for a place where you could destroy a book, actually.
I agree.
Yeah.
More logical place.
In fact, quite a number of things on that list sound like decent choices for first places to go.
You said the book place, so I took you to the book place.
That's true, and given Lignyck's reaction, I believe there's no delaying our second destination.
Sure, I can take you guys there.
Before we go, there's the matter of that girdle of Storm Giant strength. Who is best
Yeah, we should have somebody wear that.
I feel it's me.
Yes. Kin Grun, I think you are probably correct that the belt of strength is best used on the member of us that relies on their strength, because we rely on your strength.
However, I think actually the Hildebrand strength would just bring my strength up to where it is currently, so somebody else should be using it.
What is your strength now?
My strength's 18.
I'll give you a 21.
He'll gives you 21? Oh,
Yep.
right.
That's the weakest of the giants.
Yeah, let me strap that sucker on.
You're thinking ogre.
yeah, you're thinking the gauntlets
Gauntlets
of
of
ogre.
ogre power. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
As for the cloak, it would suit Kin Faewyn, but also Kin Lignyck.
I think I'd rather Lignyck had it then.
I think I'd rather have you have it, Faewyn.
But then I can't use this fun staff.
No, I agree that Lignyck should probably have it. He does end up taking hits more frequently than Faewyn does.
Kin Lignyck, are you willing?
Kin Lignyck has returned to being lost investigating your mug.
We're in the morning now. He never stopped.
Who's been gone the whole time.
He's trying to figure it out. One of the things for infusions is you can make infusions of other magical items. And I'm thinking I want to add that to my list. Or a variant of it to my list.
So how long do you have to study a magic item to add it to your infusions?
I don't believe it actually goes into depth on that. It's a bit of a suggestion that they can. Or I
Okay.
could be wrong. Mike I don't think
I'm just seeing if I can pull it up quick. But yeah, it's from what I remember. It's a basically it says in here a table's title tells you the levels. Alternatively, you can choose a magic item from among the common magic items in the game, not including potions or scrolls. But it doesn't really give anything of a develop your own kind of thing. So I suspect that would be a DM discussion at some point.
Okay.
I feel like Kin Lignyck, if you are willing to wear this cloak, it may best be suited on you as. How do you not meta this?
You stand by things where I don't want you hit.
I'm slow as foretold.
You are a bit slower than Kin Faewyn, so dodging out of the way of things is not your forte. This cloak would help.
Oh, absentmindedly, he might have probably good.
Yeah, and we'll watch you put it on.
As he's putting it on, he will absentmindedly touch it once and go, feel nice.
Kin Grun, do you feel more powerful?
Feel like I could crush stones with my bare hands.
Very nice. We'll try and find some for you.
That might come in useful.
I didn't say I could. It just feels like
It
it.
does sound like something that might come up.
Hey guys, did you go into the room in the middle? I don't remember.
No, not really, I don't think.
If I can get out of here, I'll try and go in it myself.
So it's unlikely, but Kin Grun, can you humor me and try and destroy the book in the room with the statues?
Yep, we'll use Sacred Flame.
Skippy, did you go in this room?
I just opened the door to this library here.
Thank you.
Yeah, this appears to be another study room, again with empty bookshelves.
She just whimpers slightly at the empty bookshelves.
More empty bookshelves,
No.
and the three statues of the gods again on the far wall.
Imagine all of the centuries and centuries of information that have been lost.
Oh, you're terrible.
And Grun, you've stepped into kind of a lecture hall area.
What was this room here that I walked through to get there?
Oh, it's just a quiet lit room with a kind of a fountain that's constantly running, meditation type room.
Okay.
No books anywhere?
Nope.
Well, yeah, one important one. So, Kin Lignyck, you feel strongly that we're off to the forge next?
I am going to pull myself away from what I'm doing and have a very quick look around in that room.
Ryan,
Yes.
I'd like to search the walls here for a secret door.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
You don't like black spots in the middle of the map, huh? Don't worry, if we leave any rooms behind, he'll show us in the map on the video.
Oh,
You spend some time studying the wall and don't find anything.
well, balls. Okay,
Shall we press on, gang?
I think so.
Yeah.
Kin Faewyn, you will need to direct us to the forge.
Okie dokie.
I'm a bit surprised, Kin Grun, that you don't want to go to your temple immediately.
I mean, Dowreth and I aren't really on speaking terms at the moment. I think if we can destroy the book first, and having that to report back might help in conversation.
So, Ryan, I will lead them to follow the directions to go to the forge.
Okay. As you cross through the city, making your way towards the forge, you do note that there are tracks through the dust through this area, whereas there weren't any near the library that you were at. And when you get to the forge, you find that it's been completely picked over. There's not a scrap of metal anywhere to be found, and despite the name Everlit Forge, there's no sign of flames or anything lit here.
How large is the forge?
Oh, it's a huge series of chambers.
Well, this, we can look a little bit closer, but this may not be quite the lead we were hoping it was.
You can give me investigation checks.
Wow, I'm nailing my rolls today.
You guys take a thorough look around the Everlit Forge, and you're not finding anything. Everything's covered in dust, but you get the sense that at some point this place was thoroughly looted.
One might assume this is not the right place.
Well, let's try and destroy it here, too.
I suppose we are here.
Sacred Flame.
You sacred flame the book, and nothing happens.
There doesn't seem to be like a main forge or.
No, there's a series of forges. Yeah.
Temple of Dowreth next, perhaps.
Okay,
There was the Temple of Dowreth, and what was the other temple?
the Sacred Temple.
Are there any non-functional forges in the forge?
No.
No shiny tools or anything.
Nope.
Can Faewyn lead the way?
Okay, so Sacred Temple or Dowreth's?
Yes.
Okay, Ryan, I'll take us to whichever one is closer.
Okay, the sacred temple is closer.
Okay. Does this place look like it's had traffic?
No. I'm going to pull you there. Oh, I didn't put your tokens in. 1 second. So you guys arrive at a stairwell that goes up, and there's signs that say that this is a sacred temple.
Is there any religious symbols or anything like that on the?
Yeah, there are symbols of that you recognize as dwarven gods, Adam and Lilium that you've seen.
Any writing?
Generic kind of holy text stuff written on the walls.
I'll convey that.
I'll listen at the door.
Okay. You don't hear anything.
I'll investigate the door. Can I try?
No traps, and it's not locked.
Oh, there's a big red button. I gotta go press it.
There's a couple of them.
Oh, there's another big red button. Which one to press first?
Ryan, what are the floors like here? Is it the same kind of dust coverage as everywhere else?
Yes.
And tracks?
No tracks.
Oh. What am I looking at in the middle of this floor here?
So there is sort of a raised section with what appears to be a fake red gemstone, but there's runes carved into the top of it.
Can I read them?
Yes, you can. This one that you're standing in front of in the northeast says, "What is so fragile, even speaking its name will break it."
Silence.
The gem gives off a soft red glow.
Hi, pretty gem. Does it do anything else?
Ooh, neat. Do it to the other one.
Yes, can Faewyn do the next one?
Okay. Does this one also have writing?
Yes. It says, "It has a golden head, it has a golden tail, it has no body."
So I'll share that with you guys.
Gold coin!
A gold coin.
This one also lets off a soft red glow, and you hear a click to the north.
To the north.
Northeast of where you are.
Oh, hold on a second. Let me check this for traps.
There were other ones too. There's another one down to the south.
Let's look at one at a time.
You don't hear anything?
Oh, but I found a trap if there is one.
Yeah, you don't see any traps, and it appears to be unlocked.
Nothing.
Inside, you find a small stone table with what appears to be a wooden stick on it.
A stick.
Hold on.
Have any writing on it?
Yes, it does appear to be a magical wand.
Ooh.
I investigate the thing for traps.
Yeah, I haven't touched anything. I'm just
Okay.
looking.
You don't find any traps.
What does the
All right.
writing say?
Pardon me?
You said it had writing on it?
Yes, it's basically runes of enchantment.
Ooh, guys, I think this is special.
Cool. Do you want to take it and check it out later?
Sure.
There are 2 more puzzle gems.
There is? Oh, there is.
Is there writing on this one?
Yes. It says, it wears a leather coat to keep its skin in working order, escorts you to other realms without a magic portal.
A book.
Books?
A book?
Again, it lights up with a red light.
1 more.
What belongs to you, but other people use it more than you do?
Your name.
And this one lights up, and you hear a soft click to the southeast.
All right, I will listen at the door.
Okay. You don't hear anything.
Okay, and I'll check out the traps.
You don't see any traps.
All right, what do we see in there?
Inside this room, you see a similar stone table to the one that you found in the north, but on top of it is a key.
A
Ooh.
key. Keys are useful.
Hold on.
Sure is something fishy about this key.
Well, I don't want to anybody else to risk themselves, so I scoop up the key.
Okay, nothing happens.
I look at it suspiciously. What do I see?
It's a mithril key, and the handle of the key has 2 crossed hammers on it.
Hey, Grun, I found a key.
Oh, excellent.
Seems to be in the same genre as that altar where Lignyck found his nice hammer.
Well, let's look around and see if we can find where that key might belong. If it's somewhere here or elsewhere. There are
Okay.
those doors on the side that we haven't looked at.
One of them is open.
Yeah, let's start with that one. I'll do an investigation of this hallway.
Okay.
Oh, never mind.
You find that there's a gnome in it.
Riding a very unusual looking crab.
Yeah, I search it.
Yeah,
Oh,
you don't
never
find
mind.
any traps. And at the end of it, you can see that it has completely collapsed in with tons and tons of heavy stone. It would take you a very long time to dig through.
I'm not even gonna bother checking on this one.
All right, and I'll investigate this door, or I'll listen at the door.
Okay, you don't hear anything.
Ooh.
The door is locked, and the keyhole looks like your key that you found would fit in it.
I kind of excitedly show the lock key, the match, and stick it in the hole and unlock it.
It's unlocked.
Dun dun dun! Uh-oh. I know what that is. Swoosh, swoosh.
This episode is poorly written.
What? No?
Galaxy Quest.
Oh, I didn't get the reference. So are these knives like swooshing back and forth?
No, they appear to just be hanging there, motionless.
Okay, I'm going to start investigating the mechanism, looking for something that would trigger them, that sort of thing.
Sure. Investigation.
Guidance.
And you can
Can I
help
also
me.
look? I'm very good once I'm focused. I'll help you.
Yeah,
So-
roll with advantage.
What the hell? I didn't roll with
Okay.
27.
Yep. Plus guidance, but it really doesn't matter.
Oh,
You find that there were pressure plates in the floors, but it appears that all of these have been triggered already by people who have come down this corridor in the past.
Okay. Not disappointing.
Still proceed with great caution.
Yeah, I will. There, I'm on the other side.
Yep.
That's my caution. I'm gonna check this door out.
It's strange. Something triggered all of these traps and then locked that door and secured the key in a separate room.
Maybe it
Yeah.
came from the side you guys are at.
Our princess isn't here?
Okay, so I hear
You you don't hear anything, and the door does not appear to be trapped or locked.
Oh, blue gem.
Caution, please.
Oh, right. Sorry. I step back out and start looking for traps.
What are the red things on the wall?
You're not quite sure. They appear to be kind of dishes on the wall that have a red residue inside them.
Blood would turn black as it dried, correct? So that it wouldn't be
Yeah.
blood.
You don't think so?
Oh, it's gotta be Kool-Aid. That stains everything.
Same red color as the lights outside are glowing now?
Yeah.
Is the thing in the middle a basin or something?
You take a look at it, and it does appear to be a basin, and it has crossed hammers in like kind of etched into the bottom.
Are there any runes anywhere in this room?
No.
Can I investigate this room for secret doors and that or the like?
Sure.
Guidance and assistance.
And switches. Kin Artificer, if you would have a good look at the potential of this being some sort of a mechanism.
Would that just be an investigate check?
Okay. So you do find a couple of hidden doors in this room, one to the north and one to the south.
What? Hey guys, look what I just wrote out. I'm gonna listen and at the bottom door and check for traps.
You don't hear anything, and you do find a trap.
Found a trap, guys. Found a trap. Everybody back.
Yes, everyone, some distance.
And I am going to use my thieves tools to disarm it. With guidance.
Guidance.
Uh,
Add
16.
another 4.
16 is
so-
pretty good, but, you know.
20 is better.
Yeah, it's true. If it is a 20, it'll kill us all.
Yeah, 20 will do it. You managed to disarm the trap.
Did I just manage, or
It's disarmed.
oh, you won't tell me how complicated it was?
It was pretty complicated.
Okay. All right. I'm going to open it. Oh, it's locked. Oh, now I have to unlock it.
I feel justified in my choice. Guidance.
You unlock the door, and it opens up.
Oh, look in here, guys.
In here, you find a couple of interesting things in the bottom corners.
I will look with my eyes and not with my fingers until Skippy tells me it's safe.
Okay.
Skippy will kind of stomp around and say, "Looks safe."
What are these interesting looking things, Ryan? Can you give us more description?
They appear to be stone kind of caskets or chests.
All right. I'm going to search them for traps
Okay.
with guidance.
And I'll help, because
15.
You
I'll do the help
find you find a trap.
Oh, guys, I found another trap.
It appears that the opening mechanism has poison on it.
Oh, then I just open it.
Yeah, you're immune to poison, right?
Yeah.
Inside, you find a pair of bracers.
Cool. Anybody mind if I try to identify these?
would you be willing to check for traps on the other one first?
No.
Okay,
mean,
then
yes.
go ahead and identify them.
Well, I mean later. Just put it in my backpack.
Oh yeah, go for it.
You don't find a trap.
Wait for it. Oh, no.
Yes, a 13 will do it. It is trapped.
All right. What is it trapped with?
It appears
again?
to have some subtle oil on the opening mechanism.
Okay, I will try to disarm that one.
Yeah, you managed to clear the oil out, and it's no longer trapped. And
I fling it open.
inside this one, you find a maul.
I drag it out of the chest and across the floor to Grun, and then drop the handle at his feet. This looks like it's got your name all over it.
Cool. I've noted it down with his name on it.
There's only 2 of us that aren't small.
Yeah.
And one of us is not going to use a maul.
I will go north, and I will listen at this door,
Okay.
followed by
You
searching for
don't
trap.
hear anything.
I'll add 16.
You do see a trap. There's a kind of
Ooh.
a pressure plate right by the door.
All right, I will take a piton or something and jam it in the pressure plate so it won't go down. I use my thief skill.
I think you try that
Oh.
again.
Okay. Oh, that was better.
Just had a feeling you could do better, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you managed to disable that trap.
Okay. Is it locked?
Yep.
Okay. I will unlock it. Oh, wait a minute. What's the key look like? Keyhole.
The key that you have won't work in it.
Uh,
Okay, that attempt didn't work.
not even with an 11?
Nope.
Okay. What's the rules on multiple attempts?
You can keep trying. If you roll a 1, you break one of your thieves' tools.
Okay. 18 plus 4, or D4, sorry, is 21.
21 will do it. You open the door.
Oh, there you go. What? I'm gonna close it.
Yeah, we don't want that room. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
I notice all of you blocking the doorway too.
I just quickly shut the door. There was nothing. Faewyn,
Yeah?
can you close your eyes
Why?
and just come over here
Okay.
and just stand in front of this door
Hey?
and just wait a sec. Keep your eyes shut.
Okay.
Okay, now just go forward a little bit
Okay.
and go forward a little more.
Okay.
And now open your eyes.
Are there really books here, Ryan?
So many books.
She just, oh my god, she turns around and she hugs Skippy and then she races into the room. If there are traps here, she is setting them off.
And the whole room explodes and Faewyn dies.
Very possibly, but
And
what
me.
a way to go.
Nope, there's no traps.
Oh,
In here you find in alphabetical order the collection of so much dwarven knowledge. It could take you a lifetime to read through all of these books.
oh, she's just in rapture. You guys will watch her. She'll go from one book and then she'll race across the room. She'll pick up another book, then she'll sit it down and she'll pick up the one next to it. And then she'll just turn over and go to another shelf. Oh, she's just in seventh heaven. So after she spent about 5 or 10 minutes kind of running around browsing everything, alphabetical order,
Well, as there is nothing of interest here, shall we move on to the next location?
she doesn't even hear you. So I guess the first thing she'll look at is stars. And if she can't find anything on them, she'll look at Daystar and Doomstar.
I think that we're gonna probably spend some time here. Is that correct?
You certainly can.
I suppose we should have a look at least at the titles of all of these books to see if there's anything of interest.
We can call it a night because I want to come up with some more books that are in here too. Because there's so many, and I only came up with a list of a couple dozen. So I'll have more ready for next session.
Oh, we'll get through those in no time.
Ryan, the other thing I am going to do is cast Detect Magic in here as well.
They're all magical.
Oh my god, she's never leaving! You guys, she's never, ever
Oh
leaving!
no.
The party's just lost 2 members.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan, so she is smart enough to have noticed the 2 books that we have that are magical currently. Are they both necromancy?
No.
So the magic that's sustaining them is not the only magic in the books. Because if it was just sustaining the books, they'd be at the same school.
Right.
So what are the schools of all of the books in here?
They vary.
Yep, just letting you know that's going to be a question. So when you're making your list,
Do it right.
A lot of it is just enchantment
Okay.
for maintaining the books, but there will be some other ones as well. I will say that you also notice that there is one that's missing in the alphabetical order, and there is a desk with the quill and paper and bindings and all the write your own books.